Hey everyone, it's Bremster. I haven't streamed on this channel in a couple of months because with the increase in the frequency of a lot of the other channels streaming, I just could not find a window. And this morning it was just like, I'm never going to find a window to stream puzzles. It's just never going to happen. So I just thought, I've got some time this morning and I'm going to stream puzzles. And as soon as I announced that I was going to do it, Zadameth announced that he was going to stream, and he's gone live literally at the same time I have. So I'm expecting no one to show up, but that's the way it is. So I'm going to do some more of the genuinely approachable Sudoku from 2022. It's been, I think, over 2 months since I last streamed. And I mean, I'm streaming constantly over on my other channel, BremSter's Games, where I play video games, like multiple times, probably like 10 times a week. But yeah, streaming puzzles, it's like I'm always going to conflict with someone. So yeah, hi Sotech. So yeah, I just haven't been doing it, and I have no idea whether I should keep doing this or not. But I'm going to try some genuinely approachable Sudoku. So I'm going to have to keep checking the rule setup and everything because they're all different, and the window rules is no longer locked in position on Sudoku pads. They jump around based on the size of the puzzle and everything. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Um, hey FB. So yeah, going live at the same time as another streamer, I feel is just absolutely terrible. But they're doing what I'm doing over on BremSter's Games. Some of them are streaming like 6 times a week, and therefore I have not streamed in months because I'm just going up against other people all the time. There's only limited slots, and there's more and more streamers. And with SudokuCon and everything. By the way, the SudokuCon YouTube channel has now gone live. Go check that out. It is fairly easy to find, but yeah. Let's have a look at the puzzle. So this is the August 10th from 2022, so over a year ago. I think I was almost caught up from like to be a year behind, and now I'm not again. Jocular Jaunt by Philip Newman. So normal Sudoku rules apply. Shade some cells in the grid such that the clues outside the grid indicate the sum of the contiguous runs of shaded cells in that row or column. Multiple runs in the same row or column must be separated by at least one unshaded cell. So this is a Japanese sum Sudoku, I believe. So, okay. So what can we tell? So what that means basically is, for example, there must be, um, if we were to look at, I think I might have to solve while doing it. So I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Not that I care that much about time. So for example, we know that there are digits summing to 45 that are shaded in this column. That means that because all of the digits 1 to 9 sum to 45, all of those digits must be shaded. I'm actually going to use yellow for shaded. Oh, this doesn't have my normal palette in it because everything is opening in the Cracking the Cryptic app. Ugh. Um, let's see if I can actually export my normal color palette. Or is it possible? No, it's not. Let's see if wow, I should have done this prep earlier because I know it's possible to export your color palette. So if I copy that to clipboard and then I go here and I go import color palette and I import, does that mean, yes, this now has my color palette. So what I want to do is go here, unyellow that and yellow that. Now it's got my normal color palette. Good. So these must be shaded. Because we must get all of the digits from 1 to 9, which sum to 45, and we must have a total of 45. I can do the same down here. They must all be shaded. I can do the same here. They must be shaded. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm pretty certain there are digits summing to 3 and 5. But more importantly, I think, is this row. Because in here, we must have a 7 and a 2. Now, a 7 here could be done in 1 or 2 or even 3 digits, but over here, it can't be done in 3 because over here we must do a 2, and you can't do a 2 in 2 digits because I'd have to do double 1. So this must be the 2. That is the shaded cell. The 2 must be separated from the 7. Now, because even if this cell wasn't shaded, she shades cells on Sudoku grids. There's probably something you can do there. So even if this cell wasn't shaded, the 2 could not be next to the 7. It has to be separated by an unshaded cell. So this cell is unshaded. And I know that the 7 can only be 1, 2, or 3 cells long, and it can't even be 3 now, because the only way you can do 7 in 3 is 1, 2, 4. So these must all be unshaded, which means this bottom row here is completely determined by... Hey, Ken. As I said, the timing on this is terrible. I know ZetaMath has just gone live, but I've been waiting for I've been trying to find a time when I can stream and other people aren't. And in 2 months, I haven't found one. So I just decided I'm going to do it. So the bottom clue in this column must be a 3. So this must be a 3. The bottom clue in this column must be a 6. So this must be a 6. The bottom clue in this one is 2. The bottom one in this one is 7. The bottom one in this one is 8. And the bottom one in this column is 5. Now, we must also get a shaded 41, but this is an unshaded cell. So these must sum to 41, which means there is a total of 4 that has to be unshaded. But we know, or that are not in the 41 clue. And the minimum, well, so 4 outside of it, which means these cells must sum to 4, which means this has to be a 1. I'm not explaining this well, but because the column sums to 45, we must have a shaded run of 41. In the unshaded and then in the 3, I must get a total of 4. Because this is a 3, this has to be the 1, and all of these are the 41. And I can basically I could mark off some of these, but I'm not going to. Now, this still could be a 7 and an unshaded, or this could be 3, 4. No, actually, this has to be a single 7 clue now. Because this can't be 1, 6 because the 1's not available. It can't be 2, 5 because the 2's not available. And it can't be 3, 4 because that's a 3. So that is a single 7. This is unshaded. And now the bottom of this column must be the single 4 clue in this column. And these are all unshaded, which means I can now do the same in this column as I did down the bottom here, because the first clue in this is a 2, the first clue in this is a 4, the first clue in this is a 6, the first clue in this is an 8, the first clue in this is a 1, the first clue in this is a 3, the first clue in this is a 5, and then I hit my 45. But I can just do Sudoku here, because these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 9, but actually I want to turn off the conflict checker, check packs of marks. The settings on this are always different, but the 1 means that this in the column means this has to be the 9, so this has to be the 1. Okay. So what is next? Well, these have to sum to 42. 45 minus 42 is 3, so this has to be the 1, and these are all shaded. It's just where to look. These have to sum to 5. Either this or this, but if these sum to 5, they could be 2, 3, or they can't be 1, 4, or they could be a single 5. And if they're 2, 3, so this is either 3 or 5 is what I know, because this is either 3, 2, because I can't put the 2 here, or this is a single 5. Not sure. And these must sum to 7, or this is a 7. Well, this is either 1, 2. Okay, this 3, this is where I get it from. There must be a 3 at the top of this column, and this cell must contribute to it. The only way to do 3 is either 1, 2, or a single 3, but I can't put a 1 or a 2 in the top. So that's a 3. All of this becomes unshaded. Now, what is that doing for me? I could probably do more with math, such as I need a 35, 4, and a 2. That gives me a lot of digits. I'm probably just looking at the wrong... Oh, that gives me a lot of digits in column 9. It's exactly the same logic. The last thing in this column has to be a 7. The last one in this, because of this clue here, the last one has to be a 5. So this has to be a shaded 5 clue. This has to be a shaded 3 clue. This has to be a shaded 8 clue. Shaded 6 clue. Shaded 4 clue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I really hope I'm not annoying Zeta with this, but I've really been trying for a long time to find a time to stream. As I'm just not doing it. I'm curious about this one because I need to put a shaded 30 in. Now, which means that I need 15 that aren't. Not sure that's the place to look. It would be cool if it's a spiral. Circle in a spiral like a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning. Sudoku in column 3 is low-hanging fruit. Well, this is a triple. I'm always going to be a bit dumb when I do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 6, 8. Well, there's no 2 there. Column 3. Well, I can see that. Oh, 3 looking up makes this the 5, which means these are now all unshaded. There you go. That's the low-hanging fruit that was being talked about. So these are all unshaded, which means these now I've got the same thing. This has to be a 5, this has to be a 4, this has to be an 8, this has to be a 6. In order to complete everything, this has to be a 7. These are 3, 8, and 9. Now, row 9 and 2. So I've been having some eyesight issues recently, and I'm using eye drops, and it's not helping a lot. Okay. I'm still getting into it. I've been having a lot of troubles recently, and I'm doing this for fun. If people don't want to join me for fun, that's fine. 6 is in one of these two. 3 is in one of these two. 6 is in one of these two. 7 is in one of these two. No, I'm looking in the wrong place. I know I'm looking in the wrong place. Hang on a minute. I need digits summing to 15 in those 4 cells because I need a 30 shaded. Now, I've already got 11. If this was 8 or 9, then this would be more than 15. This has to be the 3. Now I've got 14, but those 4 cells like potentially more have to sell to 15. But I've already got 14. So this has to be a 1, and all of those have to be shaded. So it's not a spiral. Now this is part of a 20. This is part of a 30, which is making me think about the same thing, but 8 and 1 aren't quite as restrictive. 35 here, though, is because these cells have to sum to at most 10, because 45 minus 35. So these are a 1-3 pair, and all of these need to be shaded. And the 1 here means this is the 3 and this is the 1. Which means this is not the 3, this is the 3, so this is the 7, so this is the 6, and this is the 9 by Sudoku. That takes 6 out of there, making that the 8. This becomes a 2-6 pair. The 8 looks up, making that the 9, and that the 8. I know there'll be people who've solved this way faster than me. As I said, I'm not doing this for time. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. 2, 4, and 8 go into there. Well, there's no 4 in any of those, so that's the 4. The 8 looks up, making that 2 and that 8. These digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the 6 here makes this the 3 and this the 6. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. There's no 7 there. There's no 2 there. Unshaded in row 5. Well, I know this has to be shaded because I've only got, if this was unshaded, I'd have 4 different digits. Now, I've got a maximum of 6 that are unshaded. And they have to be 6 in at least 2 digits. And I can't do 1, 5. Well, it is 6 that is unshaded. but I could, and I can't do 1, 2, 3. So it's only 2 cells that is unshaded, because in order to do 3 unshaded cells, thank you, Ken, I would need to use 1, 2, and 3 in order to get the 6 that I need to make it up between 39 and 45. But in order to do that, I'd need the 1, which I don't have. So I've only got 2 unshaded cells. They need to be shaded. These need to sum to 6 into, and I can't use 1, 5, so those are 2, 4. The 4 here looks up, making that the 2 and that the 4. The 2 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 2. I can now put these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 4 there. There's no 6 there. Whatever. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, and 9. And these are 1, 5, and 7. The 1 and the 5 in the row makes that the 7. Now, I need 23 in here, which means outside of that, I need 22. What do I have already? I have 13 plus 9, which is 22. So all of these are shaded. Math is not my strong suit. But I know what this triple is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 8, and 9. And I should be able to confirm that. 1 and 9, 23. Because 1 and 9 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, and then you add 3 and you get to 23. There's no 1 there, there's no 8 there. There is, that's fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 5 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 5. Probably Sudoku I am missing. But these now have to be connected, because these are just a run of... This is a run of 27, because I've only got 3 runs. And here I've got a run of 3. So these have to sum to 19. And they better, because... So, hang on a minute. So 45 minus 19 is... This is where my math is... Like, how dumb is BremSter? 26 is right, isn't it? It's got to be 26. No. Is it 26? Right. So 15 plus 5 is 26. Yes, good. My brain, I don't know what's wrong with it. Better doctors than me have tried to find out. So I need to put a 3 in this row. And I can't put it there, and I can't put it there. So this is the 3. This is a 6 or a 9, and the 6 looks up, making it the 9. This is the 6. This is not a 6. The 9 looks up, taking 9 out of there. Takes 9 out of there. Column 7 can finish the shading. Well, yeah, okay. So, yeah, these all need to be shaded, because I've only got 3 runs of shades. These must be connected, or I've got 4 digits. So these are all shaded. So the shading is done. I don't know what the jocular jaunt is, apart from the fact that there seems to be like this. It is sort of a spiral, but it stops. It doesn't continue. Anyway, this will be just Sudoku I am missing, probably because of me not being awake. What is wrong with BremSter? 8 has to go down here somewhere, but it's not there. So 8 is in one of those two. That's not it. 6 is up. 6 is in one of those two. This isn't it either. Because all the totals are now just correct. No, it's... Wait a minute. No, they're not. No, they're not. So this has to sum to 25. So the sum, right, the sum of these rows. 25 plus 8 is 33, 36. These need to sum to 9. So this has to be 2 and 7, which makes this 9 and 5. The 5 makes this 1, which makes this 5. The 9 makes this 4, which makes this 9. Why did I miss that for so long? So this is actually a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 7, and 8. There is no 8 or 7 there. That's the 2. So this is a 7, 8 pair. The 2 looks up making this 9, which makes that 7, which makes that 2. The 7 looks down making that 8 and that 7. The 8 looks down making that 9, which makes that 1, which makes that 8. Why did I miss that for so long? I need to put a 1 in, which goes there. This is now a 4, 6 pair, and I'll use that 4 to make that 6 and that 4. And that is the correct solution of the puzzle. Sure, it took me 17 minutes, but I had fun. Sorry, Ken. I did realize what I was missing before I read your comment, but you probably posted it before I got there. That was fun. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Now, I do need to check each time that the rules are coming up in the correct spot and everything. They seem to be okay. Okay, so normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in a cage may not repeat and must sum to the indicated value. So, uh, yeah, first time I've seen Killer this stream, so I will explain it. But the rules are fairly self-explanatory. The digits in this cage, whatever goes in here must sum to 9. Whatever goes in here must sum to 7 because the total of this cage is 7. Digits may not repeat. I've been having a discussion with a lot of people, and I'm interested in people engaging with me about that discussion, where I'm talking about how do we refine. I want to refine the rules that I use, but I also want to refine because I use them on the channel. But I also want to try and come up with a clear and consistent wording because I'm presenting them on the channel mostly, but that can be used. And I also want to do a rules explanation video. But in order to do that, I want to try and come up with clear and consistent wording that is used. So I've come up with some of the more common ones that I want to do. But if you want to talk to me about getting involved in sort of having some feedback in that, please reach out to me. Okay, but in this one, the reason I came up to it is the digits may not repeat. Possibly not needed for this puzzle because every cage is seen in its row, column, and box. But using it is fine. Putting in standard rules explanations when they're probably not needed. A lot of people drop them when they're not needed, and then when they are needed, because they're used to not putting them in, don't put them in. So being extra clear is never a problem, whereas not being clear enough always is. Anyway, I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer, even though I just loaded it. Let's have a look at this. Well, I was trying to explain it as well, Ken. So, but yeah, that's a good time. Okay, so a 10 cage. The minimum digits I could put into it are 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I sum 1, 2, 3, and 4, I have everything I need. A 16 cage must be 7 and 9. They are the only way to do it. Now, the way I try and explain, this is a gas stream. Do I really want to try and explain it? It must be 7, 9. I'll do it once for the entire stream. The maximum digits I could put into this is 8, 9. I need to reduce, which sum to 17. I need to reduce one of those digits by 1 to get the 17 down to 18. If I reduce the 9, I'm duplicating a digit, so I have to reduce the 8. I use this when I'm increasing a 6 cage to get to a 3 cell 6 cage to get to 7 or anything like that. It is a common thing. So I could do the same here. I need to increase the 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1. The only digit I can increase is the 4, so it becomes 1, 2, 3, 5. 17, as I said, is 8, 9. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 must be in. Oh, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3 must be in here. So this has to be the 4, and there's no 4 in here. 1, 2, 3 must be in here. So this can't be 1, 2, 3. That's the 5, and there's no 5 in there. Now, this 14 cage can't have a 4 in it. Now, a 14 cage could be 9, 5, 8, 6. They're the only possibilities. Now, this is also, okay, so this is also a 4 because this is also 1, 2, 3, 5. So it's got 1, 2, 3 in it. So this can't be 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. Okay. And again, the 1, 2, 3 here looks over making this the 5. And this is the 1, 2, 3. Now, this 13 cage can't be 9, 4. It can't be 8, 5. So this has to be 7, 6. So that means these are known. These are 8 and 9. These are known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 7. So all of a sudden, this can't be 7, 1, and it can't be 6, 2. So this is 3, 5, which means this is not 3. But now this, doesn't that have to be 8, 1? Because it can't be 7, 2, it can't be 6, 3, and it can't be 4, 5. So this is 1, 8. This becomes the 2, and there's no 2 in either of those. Now this is restricted because the only way to make a 6 cage is 1, 5. Oh, I had this before. It's 1, 5 or 2, 4, and it could never have been 1, 5 because of the 5 in the corner. So this was always 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6 and 8. Now 6, where is 6 in this row? Oh yeah, this is 6 and 8. This is cool. I like this a lot. Like, I'm probably not solving it efficiently again, but so what? I'm having a ball. So there's no 4 in this 6 cage. So this is 1, 5, because again, the only ways to do it are 1, 5 and 2, 4, and I can't use a 4. So this is 1, 5, which takes 1 out of those, puts 1 into there. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, 1, 2, 3, not 4, 6 and 7 is what I've got. And the 6 is looking down, so that's the 7 and that's the 6. The 7 looks up, making that the 9 and that the 7. Whereas 9 in this box now, it has to be there. So 1, 2, 3, this is a 4. The 9 looks across, making that 8 and that 9. This can't be 1, 5 because of the 5, so this is 2, 4. It's the same trick repeated, but very, very well. So that takes 2 out of those. So this is the 2. This is a 1, 3. So these, I can't use 1, 2, 3, or 4 in this. So it's still 5, 9, or 8. Oh, hang on. This can't be 5, 9 because there's a 5 in the box. So this has to be 6, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. And these are 7 and 9. One 5 looks across, making this the 3 and this the 1. This 7 cage, it could be 1, 6, but it can't be 2, 5, and it can't be 3, 4. So this is 1, 6. This one now can't be 1, 6, and it can't be 2, 5. So this is 3, 4. Now the 1, 6 and the 2, 4 look up, making that the 3. This is not, these are, oops, no, wrong keyboard commands. These are not 3. This 6 cage can't have a 4 in it. Yeah, it can't have a 4 in it. So this is 1, 5, which means that's, I could have done, I should have started with that. It was the same trick. Why didn't I repeat the 6 cage trick? Because I got distracted. The 1 looks across, making this the 3 and this the 1. Now, is it this 9 cage, maybe? Because it can't be 1, 8. It could be 2, 7, I think. It can't be 3, 6, and it can't be 4, 5. So it is 2, 7, which means that's the 4 and that's the 2. This 2, 7 looks back, meaning that's the 6 and that's the 7. The 6 looks across, meaning that's the 8 and that's the 6. And in this row, I'm just missing a 9. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the only 2 digits out of 3, 4, and 5 that sum to 9 are 4 and 5, so that becomes your 3. The only 2 digits missing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are an 8, 9 pair, but there's a 7, 9 looking up, making that the 8 and that the 9. The 8 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 8. Yeah, it's always the way. I mean, the number of times people say, you missed this. It's like, I was looking at something else that I was enjoying. It's fine. The 1, 6 looks up, making this 5 and this 1. Puzzles don't have to be solved in a particular order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That becomes a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 resolves the 3 and the 5. I'm having too much fun to be worried too much about what I'm not doing right. Like down here, this 3 makes this 2 and this 3, and this 5 makes this 1 and this 5. This 7 makes this 9 and this 7. Now, this 8 cage, it can't be 1, 7. It could be 2, 6. It can't be 3, 5, and 4, 4 is not possible. So this is 2, 6. Now, this 8 cage, surely, it can't be 1, 7. It can't be 2, 6. So it has to be 3, 5. This 3 makes that the 5 and that the 3. So these are known. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 and 8. I will twitch at that a bit. This 9 looks down, making that 7 and that 9. This 4 makes this 3 and this 4. I feel that box 5 is teasing me. Okay, so 3s. 3 can't be in there, any of those cells because they're all seen by 3. So that becomes a 3. 1 is in one of those. Not sure. 9 is... Oh, 9 is right there. For the same reasons. Lots of 9s looking at it. 5 is in one of those two. Actually, this is just 1, 5, 8. And that's not a 1. Row 7, 8, 9 can be mostly completed at this point. Oh, this 9 looks over, making that 8 and that 9. The 8 looks back, making that 4 and that 8. The 4 looks up, making that 5 and that 4. That's what I was missing. The 8 looks up, making that 6 and that 8. That looks down, taking 8 out of there. The 2, 6 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 2. That, of course, was an incredibly obvious deduction that I had completely missed. Okay, so in this column, I'm missing 3 digits. I've got what I don't have a 2, I don't have a 4, and I don't have a 7. So these are 2, 4, 7. There's no 2 there. There's no 4 or 7 there. So that is the 2, which looks up, making that the 7, and that the 2. The 7 looks down, making that the 4. Okay, so this is 1, 6, or 8. Right, where is 8 in this row? It's not there because I can't put it in a 7 cage. It's not there because of that 8. That's the 8. That's the 1. The 1 looks across, making that the 5, which makes that the 8. This is 1 or 6. But this 2 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 2. The 6 looks up, making that the 1, which makes that the 6, which makes that the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ta-da! Oh, damn, if I'd waited one more second, I would have got exactly 10 minutes. I was too fast. I also got another dinosaur. I am not going for hat times here. I can solve faster when I'm not trying to explain. No one will believe me, but I can. This is probably my least popular stream ever. But I'm cool with that. Okay, I'm really sorry, ZetaMath. I be aware, people, there is a ZetaMath stream going on while I'm streaming this, and I'm not doing it to annoy ZetaMath. If people want to go and watch ZetaMath do this instead, they are more than welcome to. I just couldn't find a time to stream. Okay, so lockout lines. Awesome. So the digits on diamonds on lockout lines, I haven't even read the rules, must be at least 4 apart, and then the digits between the diamonds must be outside the bounds of the digits on those diamonds. So, for example, if this was a 3, then these digits here would have to, which is 4 away from 7. These digits here could not be 3 or 7 or between 3 or 7, so they'd have to be from 1, 2, 8, 9. That's how lockout lines work. When you first see them, they can take a bit to wrap your head around. Thank you to both Riff Clown and Tallcat for creating this constraint. It is one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm not speedrunning. I mean, I'm not even going to restart my clock on this one. A lot of people really enjoy speedrunning Sudoku, and if that's what they enjoy, Ratfinks, they are more than welcome to do that. Not for me. Okay, so this must be at least 4 apart from 6. Now, I can't go up. That would be a problem. So I have to go down. So 4 away from 6 has to be 1 or 2, but there is already a 1 in the column. So this is a 2. These now have to be outside the bounds of 2 and 6. So they are from 1, 7, 8, 9. I cannot put 7 in those. I cannot put 1 in any of them because there's already a 1 in the column. I get an 8, 9 pair, which makes this a 7. This column now is only missing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I've already got 6, 7, 8, 9. This 9 makes this an 8 and this a 9. This is outside the bounds of 2 and 7, so it's only from 1, 8, and 9, but there's already a 9 and 8 in the box, so that becomes a 1. This box, I'm just going to pencil mark it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 5, and 6. There is already a 6 in this column, so this becomes the 6, and there is already a 3, though that becomes a 3, 5, and that becomes a 3. Okay, now this one is a 1 or a 3, because it has to be 4 away from 7. You are very welcome, Brent. I don't think I've met you before. So welcome to the welcome to the stream, and I'm very glad you love the channel. Hey, Stefan. If you've said anything before, I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm aware it can't be 1. I'm getting through my explanation. If this was a 1, then all of these would have to be outside of the bounds of 1 to 7, which would mean all 3 of these digits would have to be 8, 9, and that doesn't work. So this has to be 3, and these do have to be from 1 to 8 and 9. Now, I can't put 2 in either of those. I can't put 9 there. I can't put 8 there. Actually, I can't put 2 in any of them because of the 2 in the column. So these are a 1, 8, 9 triple. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are a 5, 6 pair. Welcome to the channel, Brent. You are very welcome here. So these are a 5, 6 pair. I really like that one. This now has to be outside of the bounds of 3 and 8. So 1, 2, or 9. It can't be 2. So this is a 1 or a 9. Now I have a 1, 9 pair in the box. Okay. Now this has to be 4 different from at least 8. So it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. It can't be 3. Now if this was a 1, all of these would have to be 9 because the only digit outside the bound of 1 and 8 would be 9. That doesn't work. If it was a 2, these would be from 1 and 9, and I'd have 3 digits to make up from 1 and 9. That doesn't work. So this is a 4. So all of these digits now, or these digits have to be from 1, 2, 3, and 9 to be outside the bounds of 4 and 8. This only is from 1, 2, 3 because there's nothing above 9. It can't be a 3 because there's already a 3 in the row. Now here, I can't put a 3 there. I can't put a 9 in any of them because of the 9 in the column. So this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. Cool. I'm now basically down to Sudoku. I think I've done all the lockout logic. But that's okay. I'm just trying to work through it. Okay, so what am I looking at? There was probably more stuff I could do Sudoku wise, but like 9 is in one of those two. This 6 makes this the 5 and this the 6. So what is the 3 digits here? 1, 2, and 7. So this is a 1, 7 pair. Where does 2 go in this row? It has to go here. This is a 1, 7 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 6 and 8. The 6 here makes this the 8 and this the 6. The 2 digits missing in this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 5 looks down, making this the 3 and this the 5. In this column, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have a 6 or a 7, but there's already a 6 in this row. So that's the 7 and that's the 6. 6 is now down here. So, 6 has to be down here because these two 6s knock it out of all of those. This 6 knocks it out of there, and that's a 1, 8, or 9 by lockout logic. So that becomes the 6. These are 1 and 8. Yeah, 1 and 8. Okay. Distract away. I mean, the best way you could distract me is to make a donation. That's a joke. That is a joke. I am joking. People are welcome to make donations, but I would never, ever insist that someone give me money that they don't have or don't want to. Seriously, that's a joke. That is a joke. Um, Now, anyone who knows me knows that that's a joke. 7 is in one of those two. Oh, 8 is in one of those two. So 8 has to be in one of those two by Sudoku. Mm. Oh, this 8 means that's not the 8. This is a 1-9 pair. That's the 8. That was there for a very long time, which means that is not the 8, and this is the 8. Um, Ken. Thank you. I have a good relationship with Ken. He knows that I was joking. Um, he would not have been forced to do that. Um, Ken and I think, are friends. Oh, Manchester, England, England, across the Atlantic Sea. I am not a genius. Hair is one of my favourite musicals. If you know me, you know I am a musical fan. Manchester, England, England, across the Atlantic Sea, and I'm a genius. Okay, 4 and 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. Well, there's no 1 or 8 in there, so this is 2 or 4. There's no 8 here. I'm distracting myself now. I should be solving puzzles, but I'm having fun chatting to people, which is what apparently good streamers do. So, where is 7 in that row? I can't put 7 in those because there's a 7 in the box. I can't put 7 in those because of lockout logic. That is a 7, which means 7 is in one of those two. This is not helping me. 6 is in one of those two. And that 6 means that's not the 6. This is a 6. It is a Saturday morning here. So these are 4, 8, and 9. There's no 9 in either of those, whereas the 9 in this box, it is there. This is a 4, 8, which looks down, making that the 1 and that the 8. This is now a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 7 or 1 there. That's the 4. The 4 comes out of those. That is a 1, 7 pair. Okay, but I know what this triple is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 2, 3, 5. Well, there's no 2, 3 there. That's the 5. How are you, Julia? How is the weather in Manchester? Um, 3 is in one of those two. I am just distracted, but I'm having a lot of fun. 2, 3, 5 go into these as well. Well, there's no 2 in those. Where's 2 in this row? That's the 2, that's the 3. This has to be the 3 because I have to put 3, 5 in here and I can't put 3 there. So this is the 3, this is the 5. There is no 3 here. These are what? 1, 9, and 4. So these are 1, 4, 9. There's no 9 there. I'm good at lockout lines. I'm not necessarily great at the other bit. I haven't solved a lockout line puzzle in so long. This is 147? Right, yeah, this row is just missing 147 because I've got 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. But there's a 1, 4 looking up. So that's the 7, which means this is the 1 and this is the 4. There is no 4 there. This is a 1, 9 pair. For various reasons, that's the 7. This is 2, 4, 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 2, 4, 5, and there's no 4. This column, 1, 2, and 7. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, and 7. There's no 7 there. Oh, there's no 1 in either of them. So that's the 2. So this is a 1, 7, and there's no 1 there. That's the 7, that's the 1, that's the 7. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a 4, 5 pair in this row. Rat thinks. That's even pounds. That's even more expensive. 4, 5 pair, which makes that an 8 and that a 4. Thanks for upping. I'm getting to it. This is all too distracting. There's no 8 there because of the 8. There's no 4 because of the 4, 5 pair. Um, I'm, the 4 makes, of course, this 5 and this 4, which jumps over, making this 5, which makes this 4, which makes this 2, which makes this 5. Yes, the sun is just rising, but the weather here in Melbourne is overcast. I think to the point where my house is actually getting power from the power company at the moment. There's no 2 in any of those because of that. So this becomes 1, this becomes 4, this becomes 8. The 1 jumps over. Yes, I can see other stuff as well, but this becomes 9, this becomes 1, this becomes 9, this becomes 1. The 1 jumps back, making this 2. I take 2 out of all of those. The 1 makes this 3 and this 1. I'm down to a single box. I need to put a 2 in it somewhere. It must go there. I need to put a 3 in it somewhere. It must go there. And now the final digit must be a 9. And that is the correct solution. 1219. I'm not going to win any speed races. What I am going to do is wipe my mouth and have some water. I'm feeling a bit dehydrated. I would like to stress again, I am not trying to steal viewers from ZetaMath. That is not what I'm trying to do here. ZetaMath is currently streaming. Okay. Meany, Miny, Mo by Philip Newman is the next puzzle in the series. Again, I should make sure that the rules are displaying correctly. Seem to be okay. Okay. Oh, hi, Sandra. Okay, so, okay. I am a little terrified. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Well, there's something I understand at least. Digits in cells separated by a green square have an arithmetic mean of 5. Right. Um, which great Ken. Yeah. Oh, good lord. So they must. Green square have an arithmetic mean of 5. Blue circle have an arithmetic mean of less than 5. Pink non-square have an arithmetic mean greater than 5. So an arithmetic mean of 5 means that it must sum to 10. An arithmetic mean of less than 5 means that they must sum to less than 10, and a pink means that they must sum to more than 10. So green sums to 10, blue sums to less than 10, and pink sums to more, sorry, blue sums to less than 10, and pink sums to more than 10. Understanding the rules may be harder than the puzzle because math is a long time. And I hate saying this on the internet, but I'm going to. I was in an accident that caused me to have severe brain damage. And after I came out of that, I was studying engineering and advanced mathematics and physics. I came out of the accident not able to speak, not barely able to function, and not able to count. And I focused on relearning to speak as a much more important skill. And I still struggle. I still stammer occasionally. But by the time I'd relearned to speak, my ability to process math was gone, and I never was able to get it back. So that's why I struggle. That part of my brain is just permanently damaged physically. Like I was in a bad accident. Anyway, so So blue is less than 10. So this has to be 1, 2, or 3. In fact, it has to be 1 or 2. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this is going to work. And these have to be more than... Pink is more than 10. So in order to get this to being more than 10, this has to be 8 or 9. So someone said no rush. Did I miss something? No, I don't think I did. Okay, so this has to be higher than 5. So this is 7, 8, or 9. And it's not 7. Because it has to be higher than 5 to get the mean above. This is 1, 2, or 3, and it's not 3. So this is a 1 or a 2. I'm just trying to see if there's just constraint in here that does it. This has to be higher. This has to get it above 10. So it has to be higher than 6. So this is 7, 8, or 9. I think I'm missing something here. This has to be lower than 10. So this is 1, 2, or 3. But that's just a 1. That is just a 1. Because if this was a 2, this would be green. And if it was any higher than 2, this would be red. That's just a 1, which means that's a 2 and there's no 2 there. Okay. If I got something similar down here. This has to get above an average of 10. Or, mean of higher than 5, which means these have to sum to more than 10. And the only way I can do that is to make that a 9, which makes that an 8, which takes the 8 out of there. Okay, starting to find something useful. Now this has to stay less than 10 for the 2, which means it just has to be less than 8. So that's just not 8. I'm going to call that a woohoo. Now, right, that's given. That's given. That has a mean of 5, which means it sums to 10. Well, I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 3, 7, and I can't use 4, 6. That is 2, 8. Can I do the similar thing here? Yeah, I think I can. This has to sum to 10. I can't use 1, 9. I can't use 4, 6, and I can't use 3, 7. That is also 2, 8, giving me a 2, 8 pair in the row. So these are from 1, 3, 7, and 9. So 3 is in one of the... Okay. I've definitely missed something. So let's look at Sudoku. Like I can see... Like, I'm wondering if this is going to be GSP because of the placement of these clues, but I'm not going to use that. So, like, I could see that's not 1 or 3. It's not 1 or 3. Okay, so where's 1 in this box? 1 can't be here, 1 can't be here, and if 1 was here, that would not fulfill the red clue. So that's the 1. So that's the 3. So these are 7 and 9. Can I do the same here? This has to be... No, it wasn't that. It's where does 9 go in this box? I can't put 9 there, because if I put 9 there, these would sum to 12, and that wouldn't be blue. So that's the 9 and that's the 7. That can't be 8. So 8 is in one of those two. So that's the 2 and that's the 8 and that's the 2 and that's the 8. The 8 looks up, meaning that's not the 8, that's the 8. The 2 is not in any of those. That's the 2. These are a 1, 9 pair. GSP is holding so far. Now this can't be 1, 9 or 3, 7. If it's 4, 6, it's in that order. If it's 2, 8, it's in that order. But 8 must be down here. 8 is in one of those two. 8 is in one of those, but that can't be an 8. So 8 is in one of those two. 8 can't be here. If 8 was there, this would be green. So 8 is in one of those two, which means that's not the 8. That is the 8. That is the 2. I'm assuming there's something similar up here. But I seem to have a lot less information. So this can't be 1, 9 or 3, 7. So it's 4, 6, or 2, 8. This isn't 2, so this isn't 8. This isn't 6, so this isn't 4. 2 is in one of those, but 2 can't be there and 2 can't be there, or this would be green. So 2 is there, so this is not the 2, this is the 2, and this is the 8. Which means this is not the 8 and this is the 8. Now, was I able to do the same with this 2? Looks up saying that's not the 2 and that's the 2. This is cool. This is very, very cool. This can't be the 3. So the 3 is in one of those two, but that 3 says that's not the 3. And the reason this couldn't be 3 is this would have to be green, not red. So these are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 and 9. Either of those is valid by that, but the 4 here makes that the 9 and that the 4. This column, 1, 2, 3, 6 and 9. Well, there's no 9 up there. So this is the 9. 3, 6. Either of them is fine for this clue, I think. Yeah, either of them is fine for the clue. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And if anyone's stressing about, like, oh my Lord, he's not pushing himself through this or anything, I'm here to relax this morning. So, chill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, and 6. Well, there's no 1 there. Oh, there's no 3 in either of those. So that's the 3. 3 in the corner. Actually, what I do want to do is change that to deet deet doot. Because a 3 in the corner should absolutely deet deet doot. That's what it should do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 go in there. There's no 4 there. Yeah, deet deet doot. That's what it should do. So 1, 5, 6, and 7. Is it 1? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 5, 6, and 7, and there's no 5, 6, 7. So this is 1, 7, 1, 6, and this is 5, 7. Okay. I'm assuming I've got a similar restriction up here. Like I've done something down here. I should be able to replicate up here, but that would require my brain to work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these are 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 5 in those. 2 actually can go with any of those. What am I missing? I am absolutely missing something. 5 and 6, box 5 and 6 can be resolved. Oh, the 9 makes that 1, which makes that 9. Here we go. So this is the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 go into those, which puts 4 in those, which means that's not 4. This is now resolvable. I'm not seeing how to fully resolve this. Oh, 3. That can't be next to 7. 3 cannot be next to 7, or that would be green. So that is the 6. That is the 7. That takes 6 out of those. That's the 4, 7, which takes 7 out of those. This becomes 5. This becomes 6. The 5 jumps over, making that 7 and taking 7 out of those. That's really cool. The 6 jumps over, making this 1 and this 6, which jumps into the middle and makes that a 1, which makes that a 6. It is definitely more appropriate for my channel. So these are 4, 5, and 7, and they're not 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 go into these. And there's no 9 there. So that's the 9. And there's no 7 there. That's the 5. That's the 7, which jumps over, making that the 4. And that 7, which jumps back, making this the 5 and this the 4. Now I just need to replicate that logic at the top somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 5. which makes this the 4 and this the 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 and 9. The 9 makes that the 4 and that the 9. These are 1 and 3. I'll get there. This is a 1. So that's a 3 and that's a 1, which means this is a 6 and this is a 3. I need to put a 3 right there. 4 goes there to complete the row. I need to put a 5 in one of those two because of that, and that 5 says it's there. These, let's just put them in, 6, 7, and 9. The 7 there takes 7 out of those, so that becomes the 7, and then the 6 looks up, making that the 9, and that the 6, and there we go. Once I wrapped my head around the rules, that was amazing. Meany, miny, mo. Thank you, Philip. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so non-consecutive by Clover. Okay, is next. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Also, digits that are orthogonally adjacent to each other may not be consecutive. For example, 5 and 6 may never share an edge anywhere in a puzzle. So what it's basically saying is those may not be 6, because that would be a boo-boo. Good night, Sandra. Keep well, and thank you for all the puzzles. You are keeping us in the fog. And then we get out of it. Sometimes. Oh man, the reaction to exhausting. Thank you, Sotek, for all the work you put into exhausting, by the way. The reaction to that puzzle, wow. But I still am very happy to have made that that fog puzzle. I wanted to make a tricky fog puzzle. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. So yeah, I think I've explained the rules. You can never put a consecutive digit sharing a domino basic. You can never make a domino of consecutive digits, but we can do some stuff with Sudoku. So 1 can't go there, 1 can't go there by Sudoku, 1 can't go there. This is a 1. Can't put 2 in either of those cells. Can't put 2 there. 2 is in one of those two. Oh, can't put 2 next to 1. 2 is right there. 3, 4, 5 can't go there. 5, oh, this is a 5. So this is down to a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Can't put 9 in either of the top two. So this is a 9. This is a 6, 7. Yeah, okay, that'll do for now. 1 is in one of those two. There's probably non-consecutive stuff I can play with. Like this triple, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, where's 4 in this column? It's not next to 3. That's a 4. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 9. And I can't put 6 next to 5. That's the 9, that's the 6. Now I want to look at this box. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, I can't put 8 next to 9. I can't put 3 next to 4. I can't put 7 next to 6. Can't put 3 there because of the 3 in the column. So this is the 3. Oh, 8 makes that 2, which makes that 7, which makes that 8. The 7 looks down, making that 6, which makes that 7. This is now, well, what have I got in the column? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 8 go into those, and I can't put 8 next to 7. That's the 2, that's the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 go into those, and I can't put 4 next to 3. That's the 6 and that's the 4. I'm now very tempted to look at this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, which can't go next to 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which can't go next to 4. 6, 7, 8. Now I'm tempted to look at this. I need to put a 2, which cannot go next to 1 or 3. 3, 4, which can't go next to 3. 5, 6, which can't go next to 5. 7, 8. There you go. Wow. Okay. Now, that's all the low-hanging fruit. 8 is over here. Right, 8 is over here by Sudoku, and I've got 2 8s looking up, so that's an 8. Now I need to put 7 in, and I can't put 7 in those, and I can't put 7 next to 8, so that's a 7. Working down, I need to put 6 in, and I can't put 6 next to a 7, and there's a 6 looking up, that's a 6. 5 I've got, I need to put 4 in, and that 4 knocks out both of those, so that's a 4. These now become 2 and 3. And the 3 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 3. Now these become these become restricted. 1, 5, and 9. I can't put 9 next to 8, or in a column with a 9, just to be clear. 1, 5, 9. I think that's what I've got. Oh, there's no 5 in the middle. I'm not seeing anything needing to be kept apart here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 and 3 can't be next to each other in a domino, so they have to be kept apart by a 6 in the middle. And oh, the 2 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 2. 1 can't go next to 2, so that's the 5, that's the 9, and that's the 1. Okay. I'm tempted to jump down to these boxes now, because 1 is in one of those 2. Maybe I'm making a wrong call here. Oh, yeah, where is 4 in this box? 4 is not there, 4 is not there, 4 is not there. That's a 4, so I am starting to get more restriction here. 2 can't go in any of those or in any of those. That's a 2. Now I can't put 1 there. So 1 is in one of those 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not, can't be next to 6 or 4. So 5 is in one of those 2. 7 can't be next to 8, or 7 is just not in those. That's a 7, and this is a triple, which is 1, 5, 9. That's not the 1. That's not a 5. That's not a 9. So I know what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, and 8. Well, I'm not putting 3 next to 4, and I'm not putting 8 next to 9. So that's the 6. This is a 3, 8. The 3 looks down, making that the 8 and that the 3. These are 1, 5, 9 again. I'm not putting 9 next to 8, and I'm not putting 5 next to 6. That's the 1. I'm not putting 5 next to 4. That's the 9. That's the 5. I got there eventually. Sorry, Chip. 1, 2, 3. These are 4, 6. And there's a 4 there. So that's the 6 and that's the 4. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 8. And there's an 8. So that's the 2 and that's the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 7. Well, that's resolved as well. So now I can put in these triples, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 9 again. Well, there's no 1 there. There's no 9 there. There's no 5 there. Whoops, no 5 there, which means these are fully resolved. But I can't put the 5 there. So that's the 9, that's the 1, that's the 5, that's the 9, that's the 5, that's the 1. I need to put a 2 in, which by Sudoku is there. I need to put a 6 in, which by Sudoku is there, and then that becomes the 7, and that is the solution to non-consec. I wasn't aiming for elegant. I was just doing what I was seeing, Chip. I do not see Sudoku as a competition. I am not a fan of Sudoku competitions. I believe there's been some discussion of there being a Sudoku competition at SudokuCon. If that is the case, I fully support it and I will not participate. I will do anything I can to support it, but I will not participate. As someone who suffers from seizures, competitive events, they're just not good for me. The roping on this is like, okay. And I think there's roping in all directions. No, not quite. There is in the central stack. There's not. Actually, there is in everything except this stack. 528, 528, 528, 739, 739, 739, 263, 263, 263, 591, 591, 519. Yeah, it's everywhere except this stack. Cool. We now have an odd Sudoku by Sam Kappelman Lanes. Sam made something that was odd. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits in grey circles must be odd. Okay. So these are from 135 because 7 and 9 is gone and there's a 3, 5 there. So this is a 1. This is now the only odd digit that's left, meaning it is an 7. Yep, these are all the odd digits. So this is a 3 or a 5. These are also 135 because that's all the odd digits in the column. There's no 5 or 1 there. That's the 3, so that's the 5 and that's the 3. There is no 3 in those. That's a 1, 5. The 1 looks across, making this the 5 and this the 1. The odd digit that is missing here is the 9. These must be 7 and 5 because of the 1, 3, 9 already in the column. The 5 makes that the 7 and that the 5. We've got 3, 7, and 5. So these are 1 and 9. The 9 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 9. This sees 1, 7, and 5. So it's 3 or 9, but there is a 9 in the box. This sees 1, 5. It sees 1 or 5. So it's 3, 7, or 9. Not sure. This sees 7, 9. Oh, yeah. This sees 1, 7, 9. So it's 3 or 5. Five, oh, that is just 5 by Sudoku. 5's not there because of that one. 5's not there because of that one. 5's not there because of that one. And that's a 9. That's a 5. I can probably do Sudoku on some of these odd digits. Like 5 is in one of those two. 5 is not there or there or there. That's a 5, which means that's not a 5. That is a 5. I think that's all the 5s. 3, 3, 3. 3 is not in any of those, so that's a 3. This is not a 3. 3 is in one of those two, but that 3 knocks it out of there. That becomes a 3. 3 in this box is in one of those two and one of those two. Okay. I've done all the 5s. 1 is in one of those two, but that one looks down, taking 1 out of there. So this is the one that resolves the 3s. 1, 1. Well, 1 in this box can't be in any of those, and it can't be there. So that's your 1. Your basic 7 is in one of those two. There's probably more I can do. Let's look at this. These are 6 and 8. Okay. Let's keep looking at 7s because I'm finding this fun. Why am I finding it fun? Why do any of us enjoy these puzzles? Because they're fun. Oh, this 6 looks back, making this 8 and this 6. These are now known. 1, 2, and 4, I'm assuming. 7 in box 9. There's no 7 there. Oh, and that 7 is looking down. Right, that is 7, which looks up saying that's not 7, and that is 7. Thank you. Which puts 7 in one of those two. 7 is not in any of those. So 7 is one. 7's not there. 7's not there. That 7 looks up. So this is the 7. So 7 is now in one of these two. Let's look at this. So these are 4, 6, and 8. There's no 4 there. There's no 6 there. 6 is in one of those two. Is that doing anything? Possibly. Right. Row 6 is not marked correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 2 and 9. So that's the 2 and that's the 9. Thank you. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 6, and 8. There's no 6 in either of those. That's your 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is an 8, which takes 8 out of there. I think this is good now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, and 9. There's no 2 there, so this is the 2. This is a 4 or an 8 for the column. These are 2, 4, and 6. There's no 4 there. There's no 2 or 6 there. That's the 4. So the 2, 6 looks across. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 and 8 go into those, giving me a 4, 8 pair. But the 8 looks down, making that the 4, that the 8, which makes that the 8. The 4 looks up, making that the 6, which makes that the 8, which makes that the 4. This triple, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 2 there. There's no 6 there. Oh, there's no 4 there. That's the 2. This is a 4, 6 pair. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 9. The 2 here looks down, making that the 9 and that the 2. The 9 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 9. These are now resolvable, surely. And the reason I pencil mark in the box like this and then try and solve is I find it easier to scan in a box just with my eyesight. I can't see a whole grid at once. I just can't do it. But I can scan a box fairly quickly. So if I pencil mark those in and then look for the conflict in the column, it's just easier on my eyes. It may not be the most efficient way for most people, but it is for me. So that's why I do it that way. So I will always scan boxes before I scan rows and columns, even if it's least efficient. So for example, in this row, I can see I'm missing 2 and 4. So those become 2 and 4. And now I'm looking for a conflict, and I'm not obviously seeing one. There's possibly one in a box, which I just said it's easier for me to scan, but oh well. This is 2, 4, or 6. Right, yeah, in this column I'm missing 2, 4, 6, and there's a 2, 4. So this becomes the 6, which looks down, making that the 2, and that the 4, and that the 2. The 2 looks across, making this the 6. In this column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's an 8. These are 1, 2, and 9. So I'll use the same 2 to make that 9 and that 2. This row is missing an 8. This box is now missing 4 and 6. So that becomes 4, that becomes 6, that becomes 8, that becomes 4, that becomes 6, that becomes 4. And that is the correct solution to odd Sudoku. That was cool. I have not been tracking what streams I've been doing these on. I think I started with Jocular Jaunt. Anyway, Panama Mama Nap. Okay. By Philip Newman. As I said, I'm not trying to race anyone. I'm just trying to do what I do. Okay. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along a grey line must form a palindrome. I'm hoping to avoid colouring on this. Hoping. Okay. So 6 in this box must go here because 6 can't be in any of those cells, but I need one in the box. So these are a 7, 8, 9 triple. Now, these cells, they can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. They can't be 7, so they're from 8 or 9. These ones can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't be 6, so those are from 7, 8, 9. These ones can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So these are 7, 8, 9. So I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple. So these are from 4, 5, 6. That 7, 8, 9 triple is interesting. It's very, very nicely done. So, where does I want to look now? One is in one of those two. I'm curious about that cell, actually, because these are from 1, 2, 3, and 5. Now, there's no 1 there. This can't be 2 because this would have to be 2. So this is a 3 or a 5. Well, there's no 2 there. So this is a 2. Stop. Oh, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is one, right here. This is an easy mistake to make. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are both 6. There's no 6 here and there's no 6 here. So this is 4, 5, and the 4 makes this 5 and this 5 and this 4. Thank you. It was a very easy thing for me to do. 1, 2 here, but the 1 makes both of those 2, which makes this 1. That is even more elegant. That is beautiful. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I got it wrong. Back to this. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this can't be 1 or 2 because this would be 1 or 2. So this is still 3 or 5. Can't put 2 in any of those. So this is a 1, 3, 5 triple. This becomes a 2. 1, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, 9, and there's no 8 there. That was really nice. There's no 7 in either of those, actually, because of that 7. So these both become 7, which is another really nice placement. The 8 means that neither of those are 8. Those are 9, and these are 8. That is also really, really nice. So I'm curious about these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's no 5 in those. That can't be 4, so there's no 4 there. This is a 2 or a 3. There's no 4 in those, so that becomes a 4. There is absolutely a 5 in those, but this is 2, 3, 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are also 7, 8, 9, and there's no 7 there. Just because you make good puzzles, Philip, doesn't mean I like you. 6 is on one of those. Can I put 6? 6 is in one of these by Sudoku. Can't put 6 there by Sudoku. And if we put 6 there, the palindrome would throw it there, which would be a conflict. So that's a 6. 6 is now in one of those two. 7 is not in any of those, so 7 is not in any of those. 7 is not there. So 7 is in one of those 3. Except it's not in one of those 2 by Sudoku. That is a 7. I could have just done that straight at the beginning, but I didn't. So similarly, 8 is not in any of those because that would put 8 here, which would be a conflict. 8 is not there. 8 is in one of those 2, but I'm not seeing the same restriction as I had. I don't have an 8. Now, 8 is in one of those 2. If I put 8 there... Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Do not know, cannot say. 8 is... Oh, 8 in this box, though, is resolved. Because I can't put 8 in any of those, and that 8 knocks it out of there. So that becomes an 8. Now that is not the 8. That is the 8. That is the 8. Which means 8 is in one of those 2. Philip is fun. I wouldn't say anything mean about Philip unless he asked me to. This is 7, at least publicly. I'm an Australian. We pick on people as just standard conversation. The 7-9 pair means this is the 8. Hey, John. Yes, I am aware of timing. The worst timing for me is the fact that I'm up against ZetaMath stream, but I have been trying for 2 months to find a time when I'm not conflicting with people, and it doesn't exist. So I just decided to pick a time when I would enjoy streaming, and I am streaming. These as a triple, what can they be? They can be 1, they can't be 2, they can be 3, they can be 4, they can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, they can be 9. So these are 1, 3, 4, and 9. This may not be the most efficient way to do it, but I don't care. These can't be 4 because of that 4. These can't be not because of that 9. Have I got anything better than that? 2. Oh, where's 2 in this box? I can't put it here because of that 2. So I can't put it here. This 2 knocks it out of there. This is a 2. So this is 1, 3, 4, or 9. 4 now must be in one of those because I can't put 4 there. And that 4 knocks 4 out of there, which knocks 4 out of there, which means those are 4s. So these are 1, 3, 9. Except there's no 9 there. This is a 1, 3 pair. So that's the 9, which means that's the 9. The 1, 3 looks up making that the 5, which means that's the 3, and that's the 3, and that's the 1. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 2 makes that the 5 and that the 2. This is a cool puzzle. This is not the 2. This is 1, 3. Well, what are these? 1 and 3. So that's a 1, 3 pair. That's the 5. This is not the 5. The 2, 3 pair makes this the 1 and this the 3 and this the 1. I'm starting to be worried. You know, I keep mentioning this. Sometimes you're solving a puzzle and you get that feeling that something has gone wrong. I've got that feeling. I don't know that it's true, but I've got that feeling. This being a 3 for the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This can't be a 6, or this would have to be a 6. So these are the 5. This is the 6. I mean, often it's a wrong feeling. Like the feeling that you've done something wrong is the thing that's wrong, which doesn't always help. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 5, and 7. Well, there's a 5, 7 already in that row, so that's the 2, and I take 2 out of those. There's already a 5 in that box, so that's the 7, that's the 5. So these are 2, 3, and 8. There's no 2 or 8 there. That's the 3, so that's the 2, so that's the 8. That's the 2 by Palindrome. That's the 3. I could have used Sudoku to get there. These are 1 and 3. I'll use the 3 to make that the 1 and that the 3. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. I'll use that 6 to make that the 9 and that the 6. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 4. I'll use the 1, make that 4 and that 1. The 9 looks up making that 7, which makes that 9 and that 7. I'm down to a single box. Do we think BremSter can pull it off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Apparently I can. As I say, Chip, and I say this on a lot of my videos, when people will often comment saying, you missed this. Didn't miss it. I was just looking elsewhere. If I spend 15 minutes looking at a puzzle and not doing anything, and there was something there, then I missed it. But if I'm actively investigating something else, I haven't missed the thing that you saw. I was just looking somewhere else. Hey, I needed help on this one, Ken. I made a terrible mistake in those, and Philip had to correct me. Hey, Gels, another person I don't think I've met before. Very nice to meet you. Ooh, the title of this one makes me feel good. We met in You're someone who found the channel because we talked at Hamilton? You're actually a person who's interested in Sudoku I've met in real life? That would make 2. Hi! I'm sorry I don't remember you. I mean, I met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people when I saw Hamilton. I assume you remember that story. it's I'm trying to remember who I met in Brisbane that I would have shared Sudoku stories and channel details with. Oh, right, yes. Right, of course. Hi, now I vaguely remember you. It was really nice. So the person Jell is talking about, Ty, was actually one of the ensemble members for the Australian cast of Hamilton. And yeah, I've spent a bit of time hanging out with Ty and chatting with Ty recently. Caught up with him at PAX. It was great. Hey, Glum Hippo. Welcome, Jels. I'm glad you're here. This is not where I do most of my streaming. I do most of my streaming over on my gaming channel where I stream like 10 times a week. But I felt like streaming puzzles today. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. Quadruples, normal Sudoku rules apply. So once again, 1-9 row column box. This is one of my favorite rules. Digits in a white circle must appear somewhere in the 4 cells surrounding that circle. If a digit appears twice in that circle, it must appear twice in the 4 surrounding cells. So for example, we know that the digits around here are going to contain 2 1s, a 2 and a 4. I love this constraint. Okay, so what can I see? Well, we know that there must be a 1 in here and there must be a 1 in here because there must be 2 1s around here. That tells us a couple of things. It tells me that must be a 1 because with a 1 being in here and a 1 being in here, I cannot put a 1 in any of those cells, but I have to put a 1 around this quadruple. So there is a 1 in one of those 4 cells. Now, if I put a 1 in either of those, I've broken this clue completely, so I can't put it there. But if I put a 1 here, then I can't put a 1 in either of those 2 cells, and in order to get 2 1s around this clue, they both have to be there. So that doesn't work, and that becomes a 1. Now, the 2 2s that go around this clue have to not see each other by Sudoku, so they have to be there. That becomes the 3. The 2 now has to go up here, which means the 4 has to go down here, because the 1s have to be in the same diagonal as the diagonal. They can't be in the same row. So once 2 was up here, this has to be a 1-2 pair, and therefore this becomes a 1-4 pair because I can't have 2 and 4 up here, or both of these would have to be 1. I'm trying to explain this so people who've never seen this before will be able to follow along. I always do that, even if I just always do that. I found it even when I'm solving on my own, when I'm not recording, I'm kind of starting to do that anyway because I enjoy it. The 2 around this clue now can't be in those, so it's in one of those 2. No, that's not telling me anything about that yet. I'm probably just not looking in the right place, which is fine. Absolute. Well, there must be a 3 in one of those, and there must be a 3 in one of those, which tells me there must be the 4 and the 6 are distributed amongst those. So these are from 3, 4, 6. These are from 3, 4, 6. But have a good one, Chip. Thank you, Ratfinks. I was going to stream BremSter's games today and I ended up not. Okay, here we go. There's no 4 in any of those. So the reason there's no 4 in any of those is I have to put 2 4s around this clue. So there must be 1 in box 6 and 1 in box 9. So these are from 3, 4, 5. These are from 3, 4, 5. But because there must be a 4 in one of those 2, there's no 4 here. This becomes the 3, 6. So this becomes the 3, 4. This is really nice logic, by the way. I've not seen this logic done with doubling clues in quadruples before. And because there must be a 3 in here, there's no 3 here. This becomes the 4, 5. So this becomes the 3, 4 because the 5 in the clue is here. This is really nice. The 3 now in this clue must be in here, which means the 3 in this clue now must be here. This is really nice. There must be a 5 in here and a 5 in here for this doubling clue, which makes that the 4 and that the 5, which makes that the 4 and that the 3. The 4 looks up making that the 3, which means that's the second 3, that's the 4, and that's the 6. This is really well done. So these are 5, 6, and 8. We've just got that. Now, there must be a 5 in here, so there can't be a 5 in here. So the 5 is in here, but there must be 6s. So these are from 5, 6, 7, and there must be 6s in here because I can't put both of them here, which means there's no 6 here. This is 5, 8. So this is 6, 8 in order to make it work. Sorry, 5, 6 in order to make it work. The 8 is here and the 6 is here, which means there's no 5 there. This is 6, 7. So this is 5, 6. Getting these wrong would be easy, but I think I'm okay so far. Which means there's no 6 here. This is a 3, 6 pair, which means there is a 1 in one of those, because I can't put the 3 here because of that, and I can't put the 6 here because of the 6, 7 pair. This is really smooth. There's no 4 here. This is a 1, 4 pair. There's probably another thing I can do here, but I haven't seen it yet. There's 2 7s in here. I could have got the same thing. Because there had to be 7 in here, I couldn't put 7 here, and the 7 would have had to have gone here with the 6. So I can probably do something similar. Like 8 has to go in those. So there has to be an 8 here. So there's no 8 here. So this is the 7, 8 pair. This is the 2, 7 pair. Which means there's no 7 here. Which means the 7, 8 is up here, and the 1, 8 is down here. Which means this is the 4, and this is the 1. This is now a 2, 7 pair because I need to put a 2 and a 7 around this quadruple, but I can't put 2 or 7 here. So this is a 2, 7 pair. This is swish. The 7 here looks up making that the 2 and that the 7. And the 2 looks up making that the 1 and that the 2, which means that's the 4 and that's the 1. My solving gets better when I speak out loud. It does slow me down, but I can live with that. I can't put 5 here, so 5 is in one of those two. And I can't put 8 here because the 8 is on the diagonal here. There must be 2 8s in there, so I can never put 8 here. So this is a 5, 8 pair, and this is 3 and something. So I know what this is. This has to be the 9 because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is a 9. This is just nice. So 9 is in one of those two. There must be a 7 in there. And it's not there. This is the 7. Oh, the 7, 8 here means this is the 6, which means this is the 6, this is the 5, this is the 7. There is a 7 down here, but the 6 here means this is the 5, this is the 6, which means this is the 8 and this is the 5. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 8 and 9. But the 8 looking over means that's the 9 and that's the 8. This is not the 9. These are 1, 2, 3, not 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 8. There's no 1 in those, so that's the 1. This is a 2, 8 pair, which looks back making that the 5 and that the 8. This row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a 9, which makes that a 3. This row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. And this was here from the beginning. I just didn't use it. There are 2 7s around this quadruple. So I can never, there's either 7s in those or 7s in those. So I can never make that a 7. That was always an 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 1. That would have been a faster way to do this if I'd seen it. I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, I didn't see it yet because I was finding other stuff. Did it mean that I had a slower solve than I could have? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Whereas 4 in this box by Sudoku, that 4 knocks it out of those, that 4 knocks it out of those, that becomes the 4. Oh, this 3 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 3. This column maybe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the 7, 8 looks across, making that the 9, which makes that the 1 by pencil marks, which makes that the 7. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 3 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 3. This column is, well, that's not the 5, so that's the 5, and this column is missing a 9. This box is missing a 6 and an 8, and I'll use that 8 to resolve it. 6 and 8. This box needs a 6, and it can't be in any of those because of these 6s. So that's a 6. I need to put a 5 in here. It's not in those, so that's the 5. These are now 7 and 9, and I'll use that 7 to make that 9 and that 7. These are 3 and 4, and I feel very happy for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. Well, there's a 6 there, so those aren't the 6, and this is the 6. I could have just resolved this row, but I still find it faster to put in a triple and then look for the elimination than try and figure out what's missing in a row. It's just the way my brain works. 5 looks up making that 9 and that 5, although it does make me more prone to missing something while scanning. So, I don't know, maybe not. But either way, it's the way my brain works. So this row, I don't have a 2. So that's the 2, that's the 8, that's the 2. This box, I need to put a 1 into it, which is in one of those. Actually, this 7 looks down saying that's not the 7 and that's the 7. This is now a triple. 1, 8, and 9. There's no 8 in any of those because of that 8, so that's the 8. Now, this can't be the 1, so that's the 9 and that's the 1. Pencil marks told me to look for that. That's why pencil marks are great. Thank you, is it Thomas Snyder, for teaching us all that trick. 1 looks down, making that 9 and that 1. These are 2 and 3. And there's something to break this open. This 8 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 8. I need 2 7s around this, so that becomes the 7, that becomes the 2. Which looks down, making that 3 and that 2. The 3 looks up, making that 4 and that 3. The 4 looks down, making that 6 and that 4. I did get a deep, deep doot, but I also got a completed quadruples puzzle, which I loved. I loved the way that these double clues bounced off each other. That was absolutely fantastic. I love quadruple puzzles. Hello, Mike. Wow, so many people hanging in. I do want to remind people, ZetaMath is streaming right now. I did not mean to steal viewers from him. That was not my goal. It was just I cannot find a time to stream where I'm not conflicting with someone. The next puzzle I'm doing is a Renban Sudoku. Have a good one, Frappy. It's a big R in the grid. So am I going to fall down on my R's? Okay, so normal Sudoku rules apply. The numbers on each pink line must be a set of consecutive numbers without repeats, but appearing in any order on the line. So what it means is the digits that are on the line, if you take them off the line and sort them, they will be a run of digits. Okay. So I immediately know this is a 1-2 pair because any line, Renban line with a 9 on it must go down from the 9. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 must be on this line, because if I was to put a 1 on this line, I've got no way of connecting it up with the 7 digits. Because I'm working from 1 to 9, once there's a 9 on the line, that's it, I'm done. Similarly, this is a 3-cell long line with a 2 on it. So it's either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. If I was to put a 5 on the line, then the other digit would have to connect 2 to 5 in a single digit, and it doesn't work. So these are all from 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't be a 2 because you can't repeat on the line. Even this digit, these digits don't see the 2 by Sudoku, but you cannot repeat. This can't be a 4. This can't be a 1. Now, if this is a 4, this is a 3. If this is a 3, this is a 1. That works. I think that one's fine at the moment. Let's do some Sudoku, shall we? We know 4 is in one of those two. Now, I do know this line, which is 8 cells long, is either missing a 1 or a 9. And it's missing a 1. Okay, so I know the makeup of this line. This line, and the reason for that is it's got a run of 8 digits. So if I start at 1, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I start at 2, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I start at 3 without using a 2, which would have been the 2 through 9, then I go 3 to 10 and I've got a problem. So this is either 1 through 8 or 2 through 9. But I can't put a 1 in any of those cells, a 1 in any of those cells, or a 1 in any of those cells. So this is 2 through 9. So I have to put every digit from 2 to 9 on this line. But I know what this triple is. Well, I could have done it this way. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now there is a 9 on this line. It makes this a 1, which makes this a 3. That would have been a much faster way to break into this puzzle. Much faster. Significantly faster. But I didn't do it that way. So now these digits have to be from 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, there's no 8 here. I can just figure out what these are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, and 8. So these digits are actually known because they don't include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 go in here. So this is not the 4, this is the 4. These must be 6 and 7 to complete this line. That's probably the lesson they wanted you to learn using these triples, but I came at it the wrong way. Oops. Hi, Mike. I just being me. One of the things I try and do on streams, whether I'm playing video games on BremSter games or I'm solving puzzles here, is I just try and be me. This 6, it makes this a 7. The difference is I swear less on this channel because I'm trying to keep this channel family friendly. Whereas on the other one, I'm really being me. So where is 1 in this box? Because I can't put it in any of those. That's the 1. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, and 9. Well, there's no 2 in either of those. So that's the 2. This is the... actually, the lines are kind of done now. So once again, I have been relegated back to the horrors of Sudoku. 3 is in one of those two. What are these digits? I could kind of just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there's no 1 in either of those, so that's the 1. This is a 6, 7. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 4 there, there's no 2 there, there's no 5 there. These 3 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, there's no 7 in either of those. So that's your 7, so that's your 6, and that's your 7. There's no 5 there. There's something going on in this column where I have... oh, there's no 3 there is what it is. So this is actually restricted because this has to be from 2, 4, 8, and 9. And it can't be 4 or 8. So this is... then it can't be 2. This is just the 9, which means this is the 2, this is the 4, and this is the 8, which takes 8 out of those. That was just Sudoku, which I should have seen faster and didn't. The 4 makes this 5, which makes this 2. The 5 looks up making that 4 and that 5. The 8 looks up making that 6 and that 8. These... why is it that the darker digits are harder to see? Someone will come up with a reason for that at some point. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. There's no 7 or 6 there. That's the 3. So that's the 6, 7. The 3 looks down, making this 9 and 3. I could have used the invisible 9 to do the same thing. There is now a 9 right there by Sudoku. The not repeating on the line is almost certainly going to be useful at some point. 1, 2, 3 go into those. And because of the 1, 2 pair, that's the 3 and that's the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those. There's no 6 there. There's no 8 there. There's no 5 there. Oh, is it still alphabetical August? Okay. I had not noticed that either. I'd just been picking up puzzles and doing them. So I do know what these 3 are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, and 8. Well, there's no 5 or 8 there. So that's the 4. I take 4 out of there. So this is a 5, 8 pair, which is significantly unhelpful at this point. I'd forgotten alphabetical August was a thing. The 2 makes that 1, which makes that 2. I have to put a 2 right there by Sudoku. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 3 there. There's no 7 there. Always terrified that I am making myself look like an idiot on the internet. You would think I'd be over it by now. You'd think I'd be used to it by now. Okay, I've got 2 4s looking up into box 3, so that becomes a 4. Now, one of those has to be a 5. One of those has to be a 9. Yeah, I can see it now. Mean Doku, non-consecutive, odd, palindrome, quadruple. The next one is sandwich. So this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7 or 8, which party. One is in one of, oh, one is right there. Three is in one of those two. This is not jumping out at me. Where's one in row 7? It's not in either of those. That is a 1. So these are 5, 6, and 7. There's no 5 there giving me a 6, 7 pair. This becomes a 5. This column is now just missing, hopefully, 3 and 9. And the pair of 3s over here makes this the 9, which makes this the 3 and this the 9, which means this is not the 9, this is the 9. These are 5, 7, and 8. This is 5, 7, or 8, but it's 7 or 8. So this is 6, 7, or 8. If it had been done now, I imagine it would potentially be sum lines, although everyone calls them region sum lines, although there is still the thing of, if you look back far enough, region sum lines aren't what people now call region sum lines. They were originally equal sum lines. And I've had people go back to or talk to me about puzzles that they pulled from Logic Masters Germany from ages ago, particularly Kropke pairs puzzles and Kropke puzzles, where they grab rules which turn around and say cell separated by white dots must be consecutive, black dots must have a ratio, and they try and solve them and they say the puzzle's unsolvable. It's like, it doesn't state that all dots are not necessarily given. All dots are given. It's like, but you don't state that. It's like, that used to be the rule. That was just the way it was. It was like, well, that's dumb. It's like, we changed it. Like, we've changed the way the rules work in the last year or so. And yeah. 7 in box 2. 7 in box 2. This 6 makes that 7 and that 6. That takes 7 out of there. This is 7 or 8 now because of the looking up 5 and the 5, 7, 8 in a row, which means this is the 5, which means this is the 8, and this is the 7. Thank you. Which means this is the 8, which means this is the 5, which means this is the 8, which means this is the 6, which means this is the 5. This is not the 6, which means this is the 7, which means this is the 3, this is the 6. Man, this is doing a lot. We got another deet, deet, doot, deet, deet, doot, deet, deet, doot. This is now 4. That looks over making this 6, and I can take 6 out of here, and I may as well use that 7 to make that the 8 and that the 7. Yes, I know, and that's why the Sudoku inheriting Kropke automatically had the negative constraint, but where the Sudoku world is now kind of forcing that change back on Kropke, that the negative constraint is no longer implied. And it's, yeah, that's why Kropke pairs is a thing. And I still call anything with no negative constraint Kropke pairs, but you see a lot of people putting up Kropke pairs puzzles as Kropke rather than Kropke pairs Sudoku on LMD now, and I think probably 70% of the puzzles that get sent to me, which are Kropke pairs puzzles, only provide Kropke rules. And it, yeah, it's a little weird. And I kind of get it. I'm trying to decide. It's one of the big things discussions I'm having with the fact that I'm sitting down trying to codify rules for. I'm working on a video where I explain all of the rules in detail. And I want to come up with a structured form of the rules for that, so that you need to be as explicit as required for your puzzle. And I'm working on that, and I'm working with anyone who is wanting to reach out to me on how I script that and how I phrase the rules to be consistent. So one of the examples I've got, if I can quickly find it, I'm just going to need to jump to another window. You won't see it, but I'm trying to bring this up so I can try and find it. um, where I'm working on this. I've got 4 versions of the killer rules that I'm thinking about for this. Um, and for example, well, 3 with a potential extra. So the first one being digits in cage must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and then digits may not repeat within a cage. And the reason I'm phrasing it that way rather than digits in cages may not repeat is the base rule of killer is the summing. And then the digits may not repeat within a cage. The reason I'm dropping that is a lot of killer puzzles that you or dropping that into the second section is a lot of killer puzzles that you see have cages which are fully enclosed in rows, columns, and boxes. And if you do that within your puzzle, you could potentially post your rules as digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. And you could drop off the digits may not repeat within a cage. Now, you may include it if you wish, but you wouldn't need to include it. Then you have but you want to keep your wording as consistent as possible. So then that leads to a third option, of course, which is digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage if given digits must not repeat within a cage. And you would only include the if given if you had cages which didn't provide a total. So that you are, and the reason you would do that, of course, is if you had cages which, this is not the puzzle to do it, but if you had cages like this, where you had digits in the cage that do not see each other. However, it does lead itself, and if you include the extra yourself, that's fine. There is no problem. But that would potentially lead to an issue of there is a fourth possible option that people may want to use, which is that the full wording being cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage if given, without stating that digits may not repeat within a cage. If they have a cage that is fully enclosed within a row, column, or box, which doesn't have a total for either symmetry or aesthetic reasons. Now, if it was me and I was doing that, then I would include the digits may not repeat within a cage just to avoid confusion. But a setter may choose not to do that. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give a full, what I'm hoping to do with this video, whether it's one video or a series, is give a complete explanation of if you're wanting to understand how killer works, not the details of the logic or anything behind it, but why the rules would be explained in the different ways and how you would understanding the rules of killer in detail. These are the reasons why you may see the rules explained in this different way. That's the thing I'm working on, and I'm working on it for all of the main constraints at the moment, writing up scripts where I'll actually do an edited video with examples to show it. As I said, if you're interested in being part of that discussion, please reach out to me. Let's have a look at the sandwich puzzle. I am absolutely going to be coloring on this, probably, maybe. Just confirming that the rules and everything. This is one where, no, apparently the puzzle is still rendering okay. As soon as you get outside clues, the positioning can always go a bit weird, but it's going to take a fair bit of work, Palfrey. And I do want to get wording because I'm going to be putting up what I believe is consistent, strong wording that everyone could use to try and drive for some consistency. And once I've put that out, I'm going to try and push for that for puzzles that are submitted to me. And the reason I'm trying to do it, and I'm not trying to tell anyone what they must do, but what I'm trying to do is to get it so that there's less confusion. I grabbed 20 different arrow puzzles from Logic Masters Germany, and there were 20 different ways of explaining arrows, some of which were incredibly unclear. And I just want to try and get it so that if you're new to the hobby, whether you're new to the hobby, if you're new to the hobby, it's clear. And if you're not new to the hobby, you know what's going on. That's what I'm aiming for. Because I get a lot of people who just don't grok what's going on. Okay, I am going to color this puzzle. So the way sandwich works for people who've never seen it before is, I'm just going to read the rules. Value outside the grid is a sandwich clue. It tells you the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column, not including the 1 and 9 themselves. So if I use this 5 clue as an example, because the other clues are a bit more powerful, what it means is, for example, if these were the 1 and 9, these two, I could make the 5 in between some by making this a 2. Ignore the conflict. I'm fully aware that this is not possible, but this would be a valid sandwich clue. It's not valid in this puzzle. This would be a valid sandwich clue because I have digits summing to 5 between the 1 and the 9. The other way I could potentially do it is if this was a 1 or a 9 and I put a 5 in between, this is also a valid sandwich clue. All it means is between the 1 and the 9, I have digits summing to 5 in this row. And the same is true for all of the rows and columns. So that's what it means. I'm going to restart the puzzle. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've done a lot of different sandwich puzzles, not for a while, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, if you the sum, every time I do this, I get someone complaining. It's normally the same person. I have blocked them now on email, on my channel and everything, so maybe I won't. The sum of all of the digits between 1 and 9 is 45. If I take out the 1 and 9 because they cannot contribute to the sum, I have to make 35 between the sandwich clues. So the absolute maximum I can put between a sandwich clue is 35 if I use all of the digits. So where there is a 35, they must be at the extreme ends. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the total. So those must be the 1 and 9. That must be the 1 and 9. I tend to use yellow for my sandwich clues. And then I use green for the things that cannot possibly be sandwich. These, of course, cannot be sandwich because they are not 1s or 9s. So they cannot be crusts, sorry. This is absolutely a crust. So I know that all of those are not crust and all of these are not crust. So the corners are 1s and 9s. So I know this is a 9, this is a 1, and this is a 9. So that's cool. Okay, so the... Now, there must be 30 between the 1 and the 9. Right, here we go. There must be 30 between the 1 and the 9 in this column. I could do the same in this row. But that means outside of it, because of the 35 maximum, there must be digits summing to 5. 5 can only be done in 1 or 2 cells, but I've already got 2 cells that must be outside the sandwich. So those must be my sandwich clues, and these must all be inside the sandwich, and these must be 1s and 9s. Now, these must sum to 5, but they can't be 1, 4. They must be 2, 3, because they can't include 1 and 9. And they couldn't include a 4 because of that. So these digits now, they're not 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, and 8. And if I sum those, then, I mean, I could turn on the summing tool, which exists in Sudoku Pad now. But 7 and 8 is 15, plus 5 is 20, plus 4 and 6 is 30. So that's exactly correct. Or I could just say 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, I do know this, but it's better to do it right. So, don't know anything about this row. I do know that the 1 and the 9 have to be together in this row, and they can't be there. So that can't be a crust, because if this was a crust, this would have to be a crust and I'd have 3 1s and 9s. So that is not crust. One of those two has to be the crust because they have to be adjacent here because there's digits totaling 0 between. So those are not crust. So there's a 9 in one of those two. I'm missing something obvious here, but that's okay. I'm normal at that. This is my normal shtick. If that was crust, the other crust would have to be over here, and there's at least 11 between. So that is not crust. And now, the maximum, I have to put something between the two crusts. So if these were the crust or these were the crust, I'd have a problem. So I have to put something between the two crusts, and the digit that is between the crusts must be a 5 in order for the 5 total to work. There you go. I mentioned it here, and I actually said it's the same in row 4, and then I forgot to do it. So these must be exactly the same as the logic I explained just a minute ago. I did say that it was exactly the same logic, and then I just forgot to repeat it. So these are 1 and 9, and these must be 2 and 3. But because these are 1 and 9, I now have a 1, 9 pair in the box. You can only ever have two crusts in a row, a column, or a box. That is not crust, so it's not the 9. This is the 9, which means it is the crust. There must be a 15 in here. I can't do 15 in 1. So this, well, 15 isn't in 0. 15 can't be in 1, so that can't be in crust. 15 could be done in, yeah, it could be either of those, I think. Maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. Yeah, I could do 8 in 3 digits, so that could work. There's probably a reason why I can't. Now up here I have to have a 1. Now if this was crust, oh, here we go. It's the same logic. If this was crust, I would have to include at least those digits. 6 and 3 is already more than 5. So that is not crust. So these are both crust. So those are 1s and 9s. Which means that is not crust. So there is a 1 in one of those two. It's a great resource for setters. Great to have a place where you can go. Good rule wording. Currently, I'm using Ranks list wherever I can. I do need to grab Ranks list, which I know he's made for the adventure series, and pull that in as one of the things that I use. I absolutely do. So I know what these digits are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5, 7, and 8. Well, there must be a 7 in there by Sudoku. Hang on. No, I've made a mistake. No, I haven't, because the 7 here took it out of all of those. There must be a 7 in there, so there's no 7 there. There must be a 6 in here, so there's no 6 here for better reasons. I'm... 2 is in one of those two, because it's not in any of those cells. I'm absolutely missing the plot. This 20 feels like it's going to be important. Hang on a minute. This cannot be a 1. Because if this is a 1, these 3 would have to sum to 8. But the minimum digits I have, because the crust is 1 and 9, would be 2, 3, 4. And 2, 3, 4, and 7 is 16, not 15. That can't be a 1. This is a 1. There you go. See? And now 20 is coming up from here. So that is not crust. So this is crust and is 1 or 9. Now, this is a 5 because of reasons. This is a 7, 8 pair. So 8 comes out of those, which means this is 6 and this is 5, which means this is 8. Now, we've already got... These can't be crust. If either of these were crust, they'd both be crust and they'd have 3 crust. These are the 2 crust. So these are not crust, which means this is the crust in the box, which means neither of those are crust. So this is the 1. This is the 9. This is the 1. This is the 9. This is the 1. This is the 9. This is just running around doing Sudoku. 9, 1, 9, and 1. And I can get rid of all of the green cells to take eye strain away. Now, we've got 13. These have to sum to 7 in order to get to the 20 total at the top. I can't use 1, 6 because I've already used the 1. I can't use 2, 5. So these are 3 and 4. So what are these 3 digits? They're not 1, they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 6, and 7. Okay, I feel a little inadequate after that one. Oh, Ratfinks, I'm sorry. Probably a bunch of people mentioned that and I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted by my own brain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, and 7. There's got to be something going on here, right? This is a 2, 3, 4, 7 triple. So that's a 6. There must be a 7 in here, so there's no 7 there. What am I missing? Apart from, purpose in life. 6 is not in any of those. So 6 is in one of those two. So 6 in this box is not in any of those, or there because of that one. So that's a 6. This is a 15 clue, and I've already got 11. So that's a 4, which means that's the 3. That's a 2, and 2 comes out of those. That's a 4-7 pair, which jumps across, making that a 2 and that a 3. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go in there, and there is a hidden 7 right there. You can tell it's hidden because it's a really high contrast on the grid. 7 is now in one of those two. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. There's no 8 there. There's no 8 there. That's an 8. Column 7 might help. So what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, 7, and 8. Well, there's no 7 there. There's no 8 there. I'm feeling underwhelmed by my scanning skills. Okay. So we know these sum to 8 for the 15 clue. I'm not using 1, 7. If it's 2, 6, it's in that order. If it's 3, 5, it's in that order. This is 9 and 1, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. They were just the last unresolved crusts. Eight is in one of those two, but that again ain't floating my boat. 5 is in one of those two. Oh, 1 and 9. That's a 5 clue. That's your 5. So in order to make this total work, this has to be the 3. Because 6, 7, and 5 does not sum to 15. That's your 3. Which means that's your 2. Which means that's your 3. That's not a 2 anymore. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. There's no 8 there. There's no 6 there. Sorry, Palfrey, I'm not deliberately ignoring you. I'm just seeing it at about the same time you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is not the 5. This is the 5. 2, 4, and 6. There's no 2 or 6 there. That's the 4. This is a 2. So this is a 2, 6, 7 triple. So this is a 3. There's no 3 there. 2, 6, 7. Well, there's a 7 in those, so there's no 7 there. Scanning fail. This triple, 3. Oh, the 4 looks up, making that 7 and that 4. So this is actually a pair. 3 and 8. And the 8 makes that 3 and that 8, which of course makes that 4. Which has been for a while, but that makes that 5, which jumps down, making that 4, which makes this 6, taking 6 out of there. This becomes a 4-8 pair. This 2 makes this 7, which means this is not the 7. This is now the 6. This is the 7. This is the 2, which jumps over, making this the 6. This is a 2-3 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5. These, well, let's use this 6 to go up here to make that the 2. Therefore, this is the 6. And this is the 7. This row is now missing a 2. So 2 comes out of those. So this is the 2. This is the 3. 1, 2, 3. This is a 4. The 3 in the row makes that the 8 and that the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 and 7 go in, but there's already a 5 in column 5. That's the 7, that's the 5. Yeah, this was just scanning on my part. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's already an invisible 2, so that's the 4, that's the 2. The 4 jumps all the way down to the bottom of the grid. Well, it doesn't jump down, but it looks down there. That's an 8, that's a 4. The 8 looks all the way up, making that 7 and that the 8, and that is the solution. That was a really nice introductory sandwich. And now I want lunch. It's not quite lunchtime. That was a lot of fun. I'm having good fun with this. I do want to do this more often. Jumping digits should be a thing. I did. The first ever puzzle I made was called Psycho Killer. And that's jumping digits if ever I saw it. And no one likes them. Indexing killer cages. No one really likes them. The first ever email I got from Cracking the Cryptic, and one of the only emails I've ever got from Cracking the Cryptic, is, we've looked at your puzzle and it's too hard. It is too hard for the channel. It's only 2 stars difficulty on Logic Masters Germany, but it's too hard for the channel. Okay, Thermo. That is the next letter, I suppose, by Clover. Sotek, you are primarily responsible for them actually existing. Thank you for all the testing you did. Psycho Killer puzzles are so much fun. They are really hard to set, which is why I don't set many of them. But when they work, I still think In the Crosshairs is probably the most elegant puzzle I've ever created. I submitted it to CTC. They never got back to me. And over a period of about 5 months, and they never featured it, I got nearly 100 emails or Discord messages saying, why haven't you sent this to CTC? Why haven't you sent this to CTC? And I responded to them saying, I have. And most people responded saying, you should send it again. You should send it again. You should send it again. So 6 months after I originally sent it, I said, I know I've submitted this before, but I've had so many people say I should submit this again. It was also ignored. They will not do Psycho Killer puzzles, at least mine. They've done a Psycho indexing puzzle in the entire history of the channel, but it wasn't one of mine. And it wasn't Psycho Killer. Anyway, Thermo by Clover. So Thermo digits must increase as you move from the bulb to the tip. That's it. They cannot stay the same. They cannot go down. To the best of my knowledge, a bunch of people recommended. I'm aware of at least 10 people who say that they did actually recommend In the Crosshairs, particularly after it, because I did what was the best puzzle in 2022 on my channel, and In the Crosshairs actually won that vote, but I thought a lot of that was, it's a BremSter's puzzle, so it got extra votes, so I took the 2 votes off. It was very, very close between the top 3, I think it was, so I brought that one down. Yeah, anyway, so let's have a look at this. I'm sure there's a lot going on that I just want to pencil mark all of these. I can see 9 has to be in those, because I can never put 9 partway along a Thermo. And 1 has to be in one of those. Similarly, 1 has to be in one of those, and 9 has to be in one of those. So this can't be a 9. 9 is in one of those. Well, this is just a 1, because I can't put 1 partway along a Thermo, so it's knocked out of all of those. So where's 1 in this box? Because I can't put 1 there in any of those, and 1 can't be partway along a Thermo. So that's a 1. Oh, this isn't a 9 because of the 9 in box 5. So this is a 9. And this isn't a 1. So this is the 1. This is now not the 9. This is the 9. So 9 in this box, there's only one end to a Thermo in this box. So that's the 9. So now 9 by Sudoku is up here, but it can't go partway along a Thermo. So that's the 9. This box 9 has 2 possible places. So 9 is in one of those 2. But up here, 9 actually has 3 possible places. What about 1s? I'm actually not following. Now, 8 in this box is in one of 2 places because 8 needs something higher than it on a thermo. And if I put it here, this would have to be higher and it can't be. So it can't be in any of those cells. So it's in one of those 2, which means 8 is not in any of those. 8 can't be in any of those. And 8 could be, it's in one of those 3. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm absolutely looking at the wrong thing. I found the givens eventually. It's tempting to pencil mark this entire column. Because 8 can only go in one of those 2 cells. But it's not true for the other digits. It might be true for 2. Where is 2 in this column? Can't be there because these would all have to be lower. Could be there. Could be there. Can't. So it's got 2 places, the same as 8 has 2 places. This is a clover puzzle. There's something like 8 is in one of these for the same reason. 2 is in one of those. Maybe I should be looking at... Well, where's 2 in this box? 2, yeah, where's 2 in this box? It can't be in any of those, and it can't be in any of those. That's just a 2. Where's 8 in this box? If I put 8 in any of those, I've got a problem. So 8 has to go on this thermo, but if I put it anywhere along here, this is an 8. There you go. So that's not the 8, this is the 8. And now 2 down here can't be here. I can't put 2 here and I can't put 2 here. This is the 2. That was really, really cool. And now this is just a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 7. Now 7, 8, 7 here means I need higher digits and I don't have any. 3 here means I need lower digits and I don't have any. 4, 3, 2, 1 doesn't even work. That's the 7. So that's a 3, 4 in the middle. That was really, really cool. Now this 1, of course, means this isn't the 1 and this is the 1. So 2 is in one of those 2 for the reasons given before. And I've probably got the same restriction in this row as I had in this column. So what was I finding? I can't even remember what I did then. It was restrictions in this row. Like I had restrictions in this column. Actually, no, it was something allowing me to place the 8 there. Can't put 8 there. No, I'm not seeing the same thing. Maybe I'm just blind. Or I made a wrong deduction last time. Did I mess up? No, the difference is this stuff is completely enclosed in boxes. This had thermos that came out of the boxes, which is why there was more restriction. So, because these are quadruples, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, these can't be 3. These can't be 6. This can't be 5, and this can't be 4. But that could be any of them. Seven and 8 need to go in those. So 8 is in one of those 2. But that could be 7. Okay, I'm discombobulated. 8 in row 4. Right, yep. No, that's perfectly reasonable. 8 can't go here. There's too many digits above it. 8 can't go here because of the placed 8, and 8 in any of those would need something higher. So that is your 8. Thank you. So I could probably do something similar with maybe 2s down here. This can't be a 2. This can't be a 2 because of the place 2, and I can't put 2 this far along. So this is the 2. These are now 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. That's a very good spot, Palfrey. So 8 is in, well, 8 in this row. 8 can't be down here. So 8 is in one of those two. So this is an 8-9 pair. No, because 8 can't be down here because of this 8. 8 can't be up here because it can't be that far down to Thermo. So 8 is in one of those, but 8 here would need 9 here, which I can't have. So 8 is in one of those two, which means 8 is up here as well. But if I put 8 here, this would be 9, and that doesn't work. So this is an 8-9 pair. Can I do the same with 1, 2? Can't put 1 in here, so 1 is in one of those, but I can't put 1 there for various reasons. That means 1 is up here. Now 2 can't go here because it's too far, so 2 is in one of those three. 2 here would need 1 here, which I can't do, but that means 2 is along here, but if 2 is here, this would have to be 1, and this is a 1-2 pair. Where is 7 in this row? Because this can no longer be 7. Because that would have to be 8 or 9. So I can't put 7 in any of those. I can't put 7 in any of those. 7 is in one of those. But if I put 7 this far down to Thermo, it's broken. So this is 7, 8, 9. And those are not the 8, 9. Similarly, I imagine, where is 3 in this row? Can't put 3 there. That would have to be 1 or 2. Can't put 3 there. I'd have to put 1 and 2 along here. Can't put 3 there. It's too far along a Thermo. 3 has to go in one of those. And if I put 3 here, this is just broken. So this is 3, 2, and 1. And those are not 1 and 2. This may, I don't know how long this stream has been going. 2.5 hours. This may end up being the last puzzle I do. Right, and now, of course, I've got where does 1 go in row 7 and where does 9 go in row 3. So thank you, Ken. Because, yeah, I need to put 1 in this row, and I can't put it partway along a Thermo. This is a 3 or a 4, so this is the 1. Which means this is the 2 and this is the 1. And similarly, whereas 9 in this row, can't put it partway along a Thermo, can't put it there because it sees a 9, so and it can't be partway along a Thermo. That becomes the 9, so that becomes the 8, and that becomes the 9. 7 is in one of those three now. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 6, 7, 8 doesn't work. This can't be 6. Can it even be 5? 5, yeah, it can. 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. 8 now in box 1. 8 is not in any of those. 8 has to be in one of those two, but if this is an 8, 8 would have to be higher. Yep, this is the same trick being forced through. So I imagine 2 in here. 2 is in one of those two, but if this was a 2, this would have to be a 1, and it can't be. So this is the 2. This is really nice iterative thermo logic to teach. I can't remember what the thermo chaining is called, but this is very, very nicely done. I'm not grokking this as well as I do. I'm getting tired. My eyes are starting to hurt. The eye drops are wearing off, and that's definitely having an impact. 8 is in one of those. Don't think that's it. Do I want to mark this? Because those are 3, 4, 5, and 6. Doesn't feel... Two, three, four, five, six. So this is 6, 7, or 8. So this is 7 or 8 only. Because 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it can't be 6. So this is only 7 or 8. Can I do something similar here? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So this is 2, 3, or 4. No. Where is 3 in box 2? Is a very, very basic assumption. I can't put 3 here. This has to be higher than 3. 3 here is a problem because these would have to be lower than 3. This is the 3. This is the 4. There's no 4 in either of those. 4 can't go here. Because if 4 is here, I need 2 digits lower than 4, and I've only got 3 available. So 4 is in one of those, and if 4 was anywhere other than here, I'd have a problem because I need digits lower. So that's the 4. So these are just simply 5, 6, and 7. But there's no 4 here. 7 in row 4 is placed now. There's no 7 there. Right, yes, this is the 7 and this is the 3, which means that's 4, 5, 6. This is 7. There's no 7 here. This is 5, 6, and I know the order. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 4 and 5. So this is 3 or 4. 4 and 5. This is 3. There's no 4 here. This is 5, 6. So there's no 5 here. This is 5 or 6. All of this is good. 4 in this column. Can't be here. Can't be in any of those. And can't be in any of those. That's a 4. So 4 is on this thermo. So these are 2, 3, 4, and 6. Now this can't be 6 because 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 just is not right. Even 4 I think is a problem. So 6 is in one of those two, but if 6 is here, that has nothing higher. So that's not the 6, this is the 6. So this is 7 and 8. This can't be 4, this can't be 2. Now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would leave these to be 2 and 3. And that can't be, 2 and 3, and that can't be 3. So if this is 4, this is 2, 3, and it can't be. So this is not 4. That gives me a 2, 3 pair. That's the 4. These are 2, 3, and 5. Well, this can't be the 5 because I need something higher than it. So that's the 5. This is a 2, 3 pair. This is a 4. This is a 5. This is a 4. That's not an 8. Oh, that's a 7. So that's an 8. Maximum 6, no, not maximum 6. I know what these two are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 4 and 5, and I know the order. So this has to be 3 and 2. And this is the 6 that is missing from the row. That makes this 2 and this 3. This column is missing a 6. The 5 makes this a 6. This triple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there's no 4 or 5 there. That's the 3, so that's the 4, that's the 5. The 6, that makes this the 5. This is now the 6 because of the 7 in the column. 1 is there by Sudoku. This is 3 by Sudoku. So these are 1, 2, and 7. I'll use that 2 to look down, making that the 7 and that the 2. My eyes are really hurting, by the way. That's not an excuse. That's just what's happening. 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll use that 5 to make that the 6 and that the 5. I'm down to a single box. 3's looking in mean that's the 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7, 8, 9. I have an 8 in row 1, so I take 8 out and put the 8 in there, and then I use the 7 to look up, making that the 9 and that the 7. And I got it. No solution included, but it looks okay, and I think we are good. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I really do enjoy it. Once again, I do wish to apologize to Zeta and Tristan for going at the same time as Zeta Math's stream. It was not. It's it's just really hard to find a stream time. So please go and give Zeta Math some love. I do wish to call out Ken and Ratfinks for the donations. I know that you meant them kind of as a joke, but it's actually money that you spent, and I do appreciate it. Um, Please, if anyone is interested in talking to me about the rules thing that I'm working on, please reach out to me. It may take me a little bit of time to respond. I'm going to go take a break and then I want to come back, and I've got some video gaming I want to do. So it may not, it'll be later this weekend that I probably respond. But it is a project I'm working on and I don't want to race through. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you've got any suggestions or anything, please do. I am about to go on holidays for a couple of weeks. I am currently recording everything about a fortnight in advance. A couple of people have reached out to me for some announcements they want to do in like about a week. So I may be releasing some bonus videos in order to do those announcements. Wasn't the way I wanted to do it, but it's just the way that the dominoes have fallen. And as always, for everyone, good luck with your solving. Yeah, thanks everyone. I really do appreciate the company. It's been a wonderful morning. And please do check out BremSter Games. It is somewhere where I'm streaming all the time and have a lot of fun. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye.